What's up, everybody? Shawn here with another live Live to Roll. We're back this week with a fun, just a QUADCAST hangout for you guys. It's Tom's life day anniversary, so we're just gonna hang out and chill with you guys. So, any questions you guys have, anything like that, feel free to pop them in the chat. And yeah, I'm Shawn. I'm a C5, C6 quadriplegic, from a snowboarding accident 19 years ago. Tom, or actually Bobby, you go again
Yeah,
because Tom's
that's our new order. That's our new order because
Tom,
Tom way better at carrying it on. But you know, I thought of something. You guys in the chat, there's 9 people right now. Let me know if you would pay $25 a month to hear what we're talking about for 10 minutes before we get on the show. It's nothing, or most of the time, it has nothing to do with the show,
Just
and
off.
but you would have to pay a membership what do you say? What's that site, Tom, you always talk about?
Only.
Oh, okay, I know what it is. Never mind. Sorry.
So no, a better site for such content is also called Patreon. YouTube has a membership service too, which we can post members content. I don't know. Like I've always just been averse to keeping anything back from anybody. I
Oh,
mean,
I know. But this is
even if we were
gold.
to do something like that, where it's like off the pod talk. Yeah, I don't know. I'd still, want everyone to be able to listen. But let's talk about that
All
off.
right, I'm Bobby Rohan. C5, C6. I thought it was a great idea. I'm the one that gets crazy before we go on and give these
I know.
guys a chuckle. So it's my fault.
I swear, Bobby just like is trying to like sabotage us and see like how like ready he can get our faces or like how much he can make us laugh right before we start the pod. And he
Right
does it
before
pretty
every time.
well. It's like
Oh,
5 seconds leading up. Like Bobby, shut up. We're about to go live.
and I can't stop talking. I'm just like letting these guys end to the last second. So, like I said, I'm Bobby Rohan. You can find me on Instagram at Robert Rohan, C56 of 34 years, living in Fountain Valley, right next to Huntington Beach, California. Tom, you take it away.
We're gonna be having a live to roll barbecue at Bobby's house in Fountain Valley this Sunday. If you guys haven't
Sorry, that was
thank
loud.
you, thank you. I hope nobody is wearing headphones and just got their ears blasted. Um, but it's gonna be a party, which is why we needed to um, punctuate that with a little boom, 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 because we're partying. It's a $25 ticket to come through. There's going to be yummy barbecue. There's going to be yummy drinks. There's going to be wonderful company. And we've done a couple of these this last year, and they're just a hoot every time. Highlights of my year. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday as well. But we can talk about that more later on. My name is Tom Conway. I am a C6B quadriplegic for the last 26 years today, August 29th, 1997. I hope I have the years right.
Sean,
Um,
applause, applause.
Oh, there we go.
Where's that?
okay,
Come on, please.
okay. Hold back your applause. It's all right. It's all right. Um, but we have talked about this topic before on the show a couple times. I think Bobby shared his life day on one of our shows, and yeah, no, it was just a lucky coincidence that we got to do it on the pod today. Got to be honest, after 26 years, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like much. It's kind of like birthday. It's like the older you get, it's like, okay, it's another year. Um, but it is an important marker. It's an important reminder. It's a hard one to not remember too. Um, in that, like, it's just significant. It's a day that my life changed significantly, forever, permanently. So yeah, I don't know if I tend to kind of like think of it more like a celebration than anything. Like, I mean, I'm not out here celebrating like it's not my birthday or anything. That's coming up in a month or two. But um, it has marked, another year of life, another year of living, the year of independence and success and health and happiness, hopefully. And I don't know. I think I've maintained that pretty well. So it's certainly a cause to celebrate. I'm not really celebrate today. Like TBH is just another day, baby. And that's like perfectly fine by me. Um, but I just have taken the time to think about a few things, or a lot of things. Think about how lucky I am to still be alive, to still be functional and healthy and happy. Remember how grateful I am to have such amazing, incredible people in my life. Shout out Kit Kat, shout out my mom and dad, my sister and my brother, and Shawn and Bobby and Brianna and Gage and Chris and the whole Wheeler family and the whole Rohan crew and the whole Fluke um, Cox squad and all the Conways too, um, and all of you guys listening.
Tom, I
I
just
think,
need to say to
yeah.
Miss Kit Kat, I love you too, babe. Thank you for reaching
Oh,
out to me.
all right, all right, buddy. Yeah, yeah, steal my thunder. It's all right. Steal my thunder. You probably like right to say that before I did. So I'm just gonna let that one slide. Gonna let that one slide. But Kit Kat's awesome. She's incredible, and again, super super lucky and fortunate to have such an amazing person in my life who's on my team and on my side. And then there's my function, my health. Um, 26 years is no short time to be alive. A lot of change, happens in that time. And anybody who's aged kind of with a chronic condition knows how that goes too. The more years you tack on, the harder it gets. And I've certainly felt that more the last like few years than ever before in my life. But I am super, super lucky, and I know part of that luck is, engineered by me. And like taking care of myself and working hard to stay strong and stay independent and stay functional. But I'm just super lucky to have the health and the function that I have. I feel really, really grateful for everything that I have in terms of my accessible devices, my chairs, and the access to the technology that I have, and the ability to kind of come on and hang out with you guys and share the experiences that I do with you. So yeah, no, it's all peace and love. It's all good, and yeah, it's a happy day. So we're here, we're celebrating, hanging out with my favorite people, which is all of you watching, and these guys right here. How do you guys feel about your anniversary? Is it a hard day for you, Shawn? Is it celebratory day? Um,
For me, I mean, kind of same as you. I feel like it's not like a like I party and like want to celebrate it, like do something special for it. But I acknowledge it, and it's not like a sad day for me. It's not like I don't feel like down around it or bummed out about it, anything like that. I feel like it's just I like to acknowledge it. I like to. It's also my little brother's birthday, so it's kind of like a weird. So yeah, I just like to like yeah. I mean, I guess kind of celebrate it. I mean, like to hang out with friends or at least just do something fun. If or this is yeah. Like I think for mine, we had a podcast on one of mine too. I think on one of the shows, and that was fun. That was a cool way to celebrate it. Cool way just to
yeah,
hang out, talk.
I think this is a really fun way to celebrate it, which is just come on here and hang out with you guys. I have the blessing of just being able to share it with other people, and that I think in itself is very meaningful and really special. It makes it easier, if it is hard at all. It's always easier, with your loved ones and with people that love you and that you like being with. So, um, I'd say that is probably kind of been the most important like facet of maybe this day is just being together with my people, being with my fam and stuff. We always used to go to this restaurant called the Tides Wharf, which was like in an old Alfred Hitchcock movie called The Birds. And it's like a kind of a fancy foo-foo seafood restaurant now. And there was always this like guy who was like the greeter whenever he had this really bad toupee, and he would never fill up my water cup. But it was just like kind of a fun thing we did to celebrate, and doesn't matter, didn't really matter the day of the week that it was, or if like mom and dad had been working all day and we'd been in school all day, like we'd all hop in the car and we'd cruise out to the coast and kind of splurge on a semi fancy dinner, and make fun of the guy with the funny toupee. Um, and that was our celebration for a long time. And then I moved out, and I don't know. I think we had a year where nobody even really thought of it or acknowledged it. Like I was just so busy with school and life, and it's always like right. It was always right at the beginning of the semester and stuff. And yeah, no, especially like after I moved out, like we were just all moving at a mile a minute in so many different directions. And didn't think of it, but I don't know. After that happened, I thought that was kind of cool in a certain way too. Like it wasn't a thing. Like it just, like we're just living life. Like we've been living life like this for so long. It's just not anything anymore. But I do like to market by, at least being with my peeps. How about you, Bobby? You've had a few more years on your belt than I. What is it like? You know, after so long, do you
Uh,
celebrate? Is it hard
I
for
mean,
you at
I
all?
recognize it every year. I like it. It's who I am, and I only have, besides family members, meaning cousin, one best friend from high school. I'm sure if I reached out to other schoolmates, they would, what's up, but never keep in touch. But all my new family is you guys,
Yeah,
everybody I've met who know me. And I got to recognize that when I have my anniversary. And it started, I recognize more of the little milestones in the sense. And the first one was 5 years. And because there was a reason for that was I remember somebody told me, I'm like, how long ago did you get hurt? Because when I first got hurt back in the 80s, they said uh, there going to be a cure in the next 5 years. Don't worry about it. And then this other guy told me, been in a chair for 5 years. And I'm just like, that, that kind of felt, and this is my first year, it kind of felt like a prison sentence at the beginning. I'm like, but okay, there's going to be a cure. They're right. You know, they're getting mice and rats and whatever funky monkey or to do something or move, and so at the 5 year mark, all of a sudden it became really real. Like I've done this for 5 years, and I told myself I'm effing kicking ass. I am kicking butt. I am, back at school. I have a girlfriend. I'm about to move out of my house. Things aren't bad. Bring on the next 5 years. And at year 10, I had a huge party. All my friends and family, it was huge. And it was at my house, and we just had a blast, just celebrating it together. And that day, my aunts and uncles, they're into sailboat racing. They come up and they won this big trophy, a sailing cup, and they're like, "This is boom. We just won this today. It's yours. You know, in honor of you. We might be out there racing, but you race every day of your life, and that's our respect for you that we could not do what you're doing." And and I was just like, "Okay, cool." I don't know if there was a 15th, but I know I probably celebrated something with a lot of friends. And then 20 happened. And on my 20th, was working out at the gym a lot, and I loved doing the stationary hand bike, the Cyfit. And
uh,
then there was a Vitaglide that I loved doing. And then I was getting on something like there's a somebody probably knows what it is. You put your feet on in there, and then there's two big handles, and you have to transfer. So you're going like this,
so
back
it's
and
called
forth.
like an easy glider, or is it like
Uh,
more like a bicycle?
Not an easy. Well, I wasn't standing, but you're sitting, I see him in a lot of rehabs. But
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
so here I am, feeling really good about my exercising, and I thought, okay, on this stationary bike, I do, and it was telling me my miles, like I could do 12, 15. And then on that, stepper, it was showing me that I'm doing 3 miles. And then on the Easy Glide, it wasn't, there was no way to track miles or anything. But I started thinking, like, on my 20th, yeah, new step. Thank you, Nadine. Um,
You're-
I thought, okay, in 6 months, I'm going to be turning 20 in my chair. I want to do a triathlon in this gym where I do the Vitaglide for an hour. So that would mimic the mile swim. But my mile swim took way less than that. It would take me about in the ocean, I think 35 minutes. I'm probably wrong, absolutely. But so I can do a mile, uh, and I'll just call it an hour just to precise my what I want to do. Then on the hand cycle, I'm going to do 26.2 miles, and then on that stepper, I'm going to do 6.2. That is an international official triathlons that I used to do.
Uh-huh.
So I set it up with the gym, and uh, all of a sudden I started thinking, wait a second, this is ridiculous. I'm going to raise money for this. So I started putting a trifold together, asking for pledges that I'm going to do this. If you think I can do it, pledge 100. I raised $9,000. I donated it to Wings and Push Rim at the time. Push Rims were really good friends of mine, and Rough Riders. And I raised that $9,000, and I did it in almost 5 hours.
Nice.
And that was amazing. And, since then I haven't had anything like that. But, when I recognized the 10s, the 20s, 30s, I wasn't in the mindset of going all out as like if I would today. I'm about to turn 35, and I'll recognize it because I like the halves too. And I'll do the 35. And, when I get 40 years in the chair, we'll have a big live to roll blowout here, or have to rent a hall or something, and just have tons of sponsors hopefully, and fly a lot of you out here, and let's party it up because that's how I like to. And
We're gonna get like a sponsored party in Vegas. Like we'll all
yeah,
travel out, we'll all get done up, we'll all, like stay up all night and gamble and do
oh,
things that are gonna stay in Vegas. But that's the plan, and I like that
but in
idea.
between, I don't celebrate too much. I just recognize it. I know it's the same birthday as my good friend Ray Pizarro. For anybody that knows Ray out there from Push Rim, his birthday's that day, not his anniversary, life birthday. But so he's always saying, "Hey, happy life on my happy birthday." Um, but it's cute. My wife
What's
gives me a small gift every year, so I like that. And my mom and dad have kind of forgotten about it, a little bit. My mom will call me at 10 o'clock going, "Do you know what day it is?" I'm like, "Yes, mom." "Oh, or was it yesterday or today?" I'm like, "It's today." "Oh, I love you. Wish it didn't happen. I still haven't accepted it. Love you. Good night." And that's how she does it. And I'm okay with that. My mom never accepted it, and that's fine. But hey, we got a lot of people in the chat. But hey, welcome, Xavier. If this is your
Yeah,
first time,
yeah, Xavier or Javier, however you pronounce it. What is up?
yeah,
What is going on? Hell Wheel is Sarah. Sorry to hear you're having a rough week, but I'm super happy that you're here hanging out with us. And what is going on, Viv? Thank you for stopping by. Quad Live, blessings to you, my friend, and Robert Soto Jr. in the chat as well.
my partner.
Um, what is going on, everybody? And
And we
yeah,
got
how's everybody
Viv.
else's life date? Is it something you guys celebrate? Is it something you dread? It's a good day, bad day for you, hard day. It's so weird for me in that I don't know, like I don't remember the day that it happened. I don't remember the weeks before or after it happened. Like I was so young, and like my trauma was so significant. Like it wasn't really a meaningful day. Like I think I always think about like, my mom and dad and my brother or sister, who were maybe they're more present for it than I was. Um, especially my parents. Like it just I think is maybe a way more. It's crazy as it sounds like maybe a way more traumatic day for them than it was for me. Even I ended up with the acquired injury, but I didn't experience the trauma of going through it. I mean, I did, but I don't recollect it. I mean, there's lots of obstacles and hardships and difficulties I faced since, but it's kind of like it's just always been. Like I think about that too when hearing about other people and how they kind of react to their life day and stuff. Like I can imagine, it's like Shawn and Bob acquiring it later in life. It would mark a more significant change. Like I don't remember a day walking. I don't remember a day with full function. I don't know what that felt like. So the the morning, the marking of, like the date marking the loss and, the grief and the trauma associated. Um, I just never felt that. I never experienced it. Like it was just, it's always just been a day to me, not kind of a mark of this significant change because I don't know, not much really changed. Um, but I have become more present, um, more I guess more aware of other individuals and how maybe feels or affects them specifically. But enough talking about life days. I got another kind of silly, crazy question that just popped in my head earlier, and it's just like one of these typical like gross questions I generally consider. But I do want to ask you if you could change it, if you could go back and change it, would you guys?
I think
The
we
red or
did.
the blue pill, you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think we kind of have done this before, and that's the one that was hard because it's one of those things that like I have made a lot of friends, connections. I've done a lot of things in my life that I would not want to lose and not like in people in my life and stuff. So if I could just wake up tomorrow, walk, and still have experienced this whole life, like I'd probably take that one. But if it was one to go back and just this is start over, I don't know if I would do that one. I don't think so. So those are if those I don't know what the pill is, but if it's just like yo, take this and you wake up tomorrow and you walk again, yeah, I'm doing that. I'll do that. That's cool. I still got all my friends. You guys might hate me if I'm a B, but hey,
No way.
I'll help wipe your ass if you need to transfer you, bro. I got you.
I was just gonna say, I'm not gonna hate you. I'm just gonna use your ass like all the time to like help me do shit. um, but how about you, Bob?
That's, I kind of always say, and I'd have to take the red pill and just do what I'm doing. As much as I hate pain and the struggle, but I also get scared thinking like, what happened if I didn't get hurt that day? And this is how I got through some of my, hard days in rehab. But what happened if the next day I just really tweaked my knee very bad that I'm always going to have knee problems. And I can't, you're able body and it's right there for the taking. But because you have this bad knee problem, I can't do what I love. And I'm always scared. Like, so by me putting that into me, it makes it easier to say, well, yeah, it's hard this way, but I think I would be more scared the other way and feel like I'm, I didn't try hard enough or something. Like this gave me an excuse to do a lot of things. One, I didn't have to go back to high school, and they just gave me diploma. Whoop whoop. You know, jobs have come easy, friends have come easy because I'm outgoing. And not to say that it wouldn't, but I'd be scared about working and trying to pay for, you know, a lot of things. I was blessed with an inkling of some small settlement, and that carried me through, getting out of the house. So, I could be living with my parents. And it gave me the inkling that with that, I'm going to try to make more money, and was not successful at the beginning, but finally found somebody that brought it back up, thank God. And so without that, but I always said to myself, just because that was granted to me, I'm going to work harder. Like, I need to work for that money of who I am. So I'm going to go and get a job, and I'm going to work my ass off. And that's what I've done for 30 years. And, so I always feel like I'm not, yeah, I'm lucky I got that, but I said, still not enough. I want money by work. I want to use my brain. I want to use my personality. And, and when I got my first job in the interview, he goes, tell me why I should hire you, because I don't have a lot of stuff for you to do here. And I was trying to get a job as a salesman for wheelchairs. And I said, if you hire me, you won't regret it. And within 3 years, I was second salesman of our place, and making over 50 grand a month.
Yeah.
I mean, a year. A year. I wish a month.
I was gonna say 50 grand a month. You got any residuals coming off that I can maybe slide up on? Um, well, I'm just teasing, but I liked how Will's answer. He said if he could change one thing, he'd go back to 2011 and buy 30K in Bitcoin. No, for sure, I'd definitely go back in time and make a few choice investment decisions. But hindsight's everything. And I know that right there, hindsight is everything. Um,
It is. I just want to say one thing to
yeah,
Rob. He says Bitcoins. I say Apple, when Apple was at the, making that stupid box or blue and orange computer. And right when they put out the iPod, the first iPod, that's when I wish I put everything I had into Apple.
Yeah, if we could only go back for.
if only we went back in time and put everything we had into the environment and to taking care of our wildlife that populates the earth, and ensuring and protecting our future, avoiding war and famine and plague. But hey, here we are. We all want to go back and buy Apple and buy Bitcoin. But hey, like I feel it too. Um, and I don't know, I'm like in the same boat as Shawn. Um, there's like a weird, crazy part of my brain that is like, oh, I wonder what if. Like, I don't know, I've been thinking about that question my whole life. Like, I mean, every part of my life would be different. Like, I imagine, like, I probably wouldn't know the same people, or, you know, like, be in the same place in life. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where it went. Like, it's so difficult for me to imagine because it's just been my entire life. I'd be like a full reset on Tom. Um, so, I've never changed, you know, change it in a million years, unless I could, maybe just take the magic pill that like ensures this timeline, but like would just like allow me to walk and function after that.
That's what
And I don't know, like there's probably like a line of people I'd give the pill to before I take it myself. And I just, man, it's hard. It's difficult for me to imagine. Um, I definitely want all the pain and all the limitations and all the limited mobility and maybe negative side effects associated with my disability to change. I mean, shit, if I could get bladder and bowel function back, like
Yeah.
fuck yeah, dude, like I'd do that in a second. Walk that back for sure. But yeah, it's just silly. It's silly, so silly to think about. The I guess the reason I asked, and one of the reasons I brought it up, is to um, I just talk about that very fact. Like Sarah said, it acceptance is a rough one. Working on being more positive about my life day. Like I think it's absolutely that for all of us. Acceptance for me was never much of an issue. I feel like I don't know, even my mom and dad, like, and my fam and stuff, like we were just so like quick to like, all right, this is it. But we're just gonna fucking work our asses off and make the best out of it, and like this is what we gotta do now. Like there isn't no denying reality. There isn't no not accepting the situation or what's gonna happen. It's just like, dude, this is what it is, and we're gonna do it. And then I had the benefit of being a child, which I wasn't considering loss. I wasn't considering my future. I wasn't considering anything other than just accepting and operating within my reality.
Yeah, you're
Whatever it
trying to be a
was.
kid. Just
Exactly. And I was just like trying to learn and function like all my peers and my brother and sister, and just like kids do. So um, that perspective and the lessons that I've learned, the insight that I've gained, um, I do wonder. I do wonder what kind of person I'd be, not having the luxury of perspective and um, the benefit of all the experiences that I've gone through. As hard as they might have been, um, that I don't know, some truly priceless, valuable lessons and things that I've learned and experienced. And there's only one way to gain that, and that's by taking the hard road and going through some of it. So don't I don't look at that. I don't look at the obstacles. I don't look at the hardships. And I mean, I certainly still get frustrated. I still get down. Y'all know. Anybody that knows me knows. But I don't. I don't look back on my struggles and the difficulties that I face as a result of my injury and the accident that happened is like a negative thing, because I mean really truly it's not. Like it's odd to say it's been a gift, because I don't know, it's like, man, that's a shitty gift to receive. um, but I truly wonder, um, without the benefit of these experiences and all that I've gone through, who would I be? Would I be a good person? Would I be a shitty person? Would I be an ableist more than I already am as a disabled person? Would I be, just like, a shitty person in other ways? Like, how would I view the world? How would I view others? How would I, view individuals with disabilities and stuff? Like, how would I understand and be grateful for all that I have and all the beauty that life offers? Um, would I have the ability to see it? I truly wonder that, and I am thankful that I don't have to wonder. Um, that the path that I'm on, and the result of the experiences that I've gained, like it's all been good and it's all love and it's all been super blessed and super amazing. Despite how some people might say like, damn, that's a tough shitty situation, like I never want that in a million years, and I honestly never wish it upon anybody, because yeah, I wouldn't want this to be thrust upon anybody who wasn't expecting it, or to have the skills or the ability to get through it. um, but my views towards it is, I am grateful. I am grateful for my perspective on life. I'm grateful to be able to see and know how lucky I am and see all the things that I have, and be able to love the way that I do and communicate the way that I do, and the benefit of not only, my learned experiences, but what I've learned from this community and from you guys, and, from all the Literal fam and everybody. So, um, yeah, wouldn't change a thing. Wouldn't change a thing.
I
Never.
had a funny thing. I know we get a lot of, oh, God bless you. look at you. So happy to see you out. Little things like that. I was talking to one of our viewers, Donald Brown, and he wanted to catch up and talk. So I'm talking to him, and then I had things to do. So I, I rushed out of the house, went to this mailing center, and as I'm getting out, there, I'm like a little nervous. There's a homeless person right there, and he's pacing. And I come down my ramp, and he takes one look at me, and he said, "And I thought I was having a bad day." And I thought, like, oh, I don't know what that means because, I mean, I'm feeling way better off than you. I mean, I just said, oh, well, thanks. I just pushed, and I just, like, what? I didn't know even what to say when someone, thinks that this is a shitty life because you're sitting down, and that it's not that way. It's what you make of it. I mean, there's people who can get injured and hate the anniversary, hate that they're in a chair, hate everything about it. They can't look at anything of the positive. I From time to time you run into them, or time to time that some people just are not big fighters, and that's one thing I've always said. And uh, the last few weeks I've said it to my grandson a lot, to my wife, and she always goes, I know. And when I'm trying to do something, even if it takes me an hour to plug something in, I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug this thing in, and I don't leave until I have accomplished it, or I leave, come back, and keep working on it. But
And
I
I it's just
Yeah.
what you said, Bobby, like that story about that guy and stuff. I don't know. It's like something I've been hearing all my life. It's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, so sorry you had to go through that. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, dude. And I'm like, sorry for what, bro? And I understand the sentiment. I understand where it's coming from. But to that guy that says like, oh man, I thought I was having a bad day. I've encountered that too, 100 times. If not someone vocalizing it, I can almost see it in their eyes. When they're like sitting there staring at me and they're like, this like almost look of pity or something like, oh God. But that's what I'm talking about. Like sometimes, and I'm not trying to like inflate myself or say I got something that other people don't, but sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that can see in like a sea of blind people, and that like that it's just the wrong way to look at it. Like, dude, if you had the benefit of my perspective, like, you would know how like wrong you are in that statement. Like I know there's so many people out there who don't have any kind of physical disability, physical ailment, but are struggling 10 times harder than I do on a daily basis. But again, like that is just perspective that I've gained through, operating and living my life, but also like interacting and talking with others. I mean, Shawn's life isn't any harder than mine. Some days he has harder days than I do, and some days I have harder days than him. Right now, no one is probably worse than the other, but to be able to look at somebody and like have that mentality and that attitude that like you can't see the life in them and stuff, that scares me. Like the perspective that that poor man lived with every day, and that's how he viewed the world. Like shit, dude, that scares me. To think that I could have had that perspective, or that I could be like living my life with that view, like looking down on others or not being able to like empathize with others or understand the struggle that they go through and stuff. And I don't know, like I just think there's so much value in that. Um, and maybe I hope that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making any
No,
sense, but
and I think there's one thing I can kind of say is, in my outlook, I don't feel like I'm any better than anybody or any worse than anybody. And meaning, I'm not worse off than you in whatever your life struggles are. And I'm not better because I have this and can do that. You know, life is no seven, no seven, or give me a seven. Whatever you're,
Yeah.
rolling the dice, and that's what you're gonna get. And I feel like I got mine, and I feel like I got, I don't know if you guys feel it, but or ever thought of it, and maybe not you, Tom. You're a little younger, but I thought this was, you know, a second chance at life, and I'm gonna sure, you know, excel and do the things I love. And if that's the time I go, then that's okay. You know, it's all right. I didn't. Shawn said it. Yeah. If I did have that blue pill and was walking that day after my accident, I probably would have broken my neck a couple weeks later. You know, 2 weeks or 2 months before my accident, I was going downhill with a group of friends. They were all older than me, my coach, and I could climb better than them. And I got to the top. And you know me, I'm a shit stirrer. And started talking trash. "Oh, about time you guys, you old farts, get up here." And they're like, "Okay, let's go downhill. If you beat any of us, we'll give you $1 each. And we're going to give you a head start." And I'm plowing down Shawn, Santa Susana Pass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm plowing down at 60 miles an hour. And my coach passes me, another guy passes me, and the third guy clips the back of my wheel, and I go down. I mean, I'm sliding at least 50 to 80 yards. And luckily, just a lot of road rash. And, I could have laid it down the other way and hit the guardrail. I could have laid it down and there was a car behind me. There were so many scenarios that I was hit by a car maybe 3 or 4 times before my accident. And maybe that was someone trying to tell me something, not real bad, but, enough that, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And a lot of people are turning to mountain biking these days because it's a ride out on the streets these days. No one cares about cyclists. And they only care about their phones or just being a jerk to you because like they feel like you guys shouldn't be out here or whatever. But I feel that same way. Like, so this is my second chance at life. And I'll tell you one thing, and this might bring up a whole nother level. It really helped for you, Tom, Shawn, and I, and some of you in the chat, like Hell Wheels and Robert. I know that we were hurt young, under 25. And I think that helps a lot too. I'm glad I wasn't in my 30s or 40s with responsibilities of something I couldn't get, couldn't handle after my accident. Meaning, I had a job where I was using my hands, and now I can't go back to that, and I have to pay the mortgage, and I have 2 young kids. There's people that do it all the time, but that would have scared me to be older, and anything over 52. And I have a really good friend, Bob, out there. You know, he retires, and a year later he's a quadriplegic. I don't know if that's better to get hurt at that age or get hurt at the age I did.
I think there's a big debate on that because it can go either way. Some people want to have that whole life experience and things before they have, but it's I do think you're a little more resilient younger, and it's easier to adapt to a new life. So
Well, and I think what it, but I also feel I've almost done everything I want, except I wasn't a bike racer, but I went out and I snow skied again. I water skied again. I skydived. I've, you know, traveled all around the world. I've played sports. I did what I want. I found the wife. I found, the little picket fence in Orange County. So, I did everything as if I was able-bodied. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I like to climb a mountain, which I mean I could do in my chair, but I mean I'd like to walk up it, TBH. If I had an option, I always kind of like I could have done like shot put or discus or something, and I mean still could, but I always looked at my homies like doing cross country or like track and field, and I'm like, damn, what would it be like to do that? Like that'd be kind of cool, but just like I been saying like for the last 20, 30 minutes is, and I've experienced things in my life, and you know gone through experiences that I wouldn't have otherwise if I maybe was able-bodied. Like I don't know, I've never really thought like, oh man, like I missed out. I missed out. Like the idea that on a if I tasted from the fruit of life more and then got injured and then lost it all, I feel like maybe I would like have regretted more, like feared that loss or, like that missing out. Maybe even experiences that I had had and, would never have again. But not having a lot of them in the first place, I think made it easier, just kind of like Shawn said. I mean, like the transition, just like adapting to my disability was easier, but also like not like that mental hang up, like that mental trauma, the mental loss, that you experience. Never dealt with it significantly being younger. Like I've never really feared on missing out on too much. I'm afraid I'm going to die sooner than I would have if I would have been injured later in life or never injured at all. I'd say that that's probably like a big one that's like bugged me or been in my head. Is just the increased risk, maybe shaving a few years off my life, being a quad, just as a result of aging and possible complications and stuff. But shit, maybe not. I've been paralyzed for 26 years. It's honestly difficult for me to even rationalize that amount of time in my head. I've been alive for 30. I can't imagine another 30. I mean, I can. It's hard for me to rationalize all that life that I've already lived, like doing it again. I mean, shit, if I could, I'm looking forward to 60, in 56 years, paralyzed. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for, those next, 25, 26, 30 years for sure. And I hope it's more. I'm going to continue to take care of myself the best I can. And I don't know, seeing guys like the two Bobs all rolling over the hill and stuff.
I'm
I mean,
Bobby. I'm not Bob. Bobby.
Yeah.
I, I'm gonna
Bobby
call
doesn't
you.
like Bob.
Bob. Um,
What about
I'm
Bob?
gonna call you Bob. You're talking of shit to me, Bob. All right. I'm gonna call you whatever the heck I want. Okay. Um, but seeing our other co-hosts like Robert, who's been in a chair for 50 years. Like I see that, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like that gives me hope. Like that excites me. Like they're the sti.rutgers.edu forum, the Rutgers University and Dr. Wise Young hosts again, like for one of the greatest spinal cord injury information resources that exists and has existed, at least like my whole life. And there was this guy, he would always post, and his username was Quad for 60 years. And he had been paralyzed for 60 years and was a quadriplegic. And I'll be honest, like I thought about this stuff like younger too. But just even reading that username or reading his posts about, being, injured in his adolescence, being in a chair for 60 years and, still out there functioning and living life and, participating and, like offering whatever knowledge and, resources he had from his experiences and stuff. Like that was super inspiring to me. And it gave me a lot of hope, and it like made it easy for me to not dwell on that. And it just sounds dark to say, but we all think about it. I'm sure, it's hard not to. Like I've certainly had, a number of close calls in my life, one being my injury, the first one I overcame and survived, and came out, stronger on the other side. But, a few in between, then and now as well. And it certainly, yeah, made me
Well,
think.
it's kind of
Made me,
like this, Tom. If you've seen that, I think it's on streaming. Poots and Boots, the
yeah,
latest one. That's
yeah,
about
the
his
last,
9 lives. And
yeah,
sometimes
yeah, yeah.
I get like that. Like that
Yeah.
wolf was, ready to take me out because I count them all. It's first the accident, then it's no uh, bad bronchitis bout, uh, blood infection, and then going snow skiing, and we hit black ice and went off the side of the mountain and rolled uh, a, a few times, 4 times, and waking up on the backboard going, "Are you kidding me?" You know. So, and then I got more, and just recently having this heart problem. Uh, I'm like 1, 2, 3, and I feel like boot and boots. But I'm also now treating my life like at the end of the movie, no spoiler alerts. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, do that. I do have an interesting a question. You gave one, and let's see if you guys can answer this. Today or tomorrow, I'm going to give you a pill to be able-bodied, strong, healthy, to do anything you want for 24 hours. What would you do? And I want to hear from the chat too.
Oh, and there's no
Um,
side effects or anything? I'll
No
take
side
that shit
effects.
all day.
You're 24 hours, and then
Oh,
you're back to
are you asking what I would do in that 24 hours?
what you would do in that 24 hours.
I would end up breaking my neck again doing some stupid ass. I tried to go snowboarding, rock climbing.
There's a
Definitely taking the
funny
pill.
movie called Palm Springs, and it's Adam Sandberg. It's on Hulu. Anyone wants a good movie, and every morning he wakes up, he's reliving the life. It's like Groundhog's Day, and so he gets a girlfriend, and then they do all these things each day to kill themselves off. I'm like, huh?
51st dates? Is that what you're talking about?
No. She had a no. They were actually waking up. Even they were able to kill themselves and then wake up going.
Okay.
But he was at a wedding that night, so he started every day. He was in Palm Springs going to the wedding, and then he was like learning everybody's moves. Everybody like he screwed up the um, uh, the toast one night. All these things. It's just funny. So I always sometimes wish like
Bib's answer: go tide pooling and hiking.
yeah.
Here's my answer: I'd split the pill in half. I'd give half to Kit Kat, and we'd have 12 hours, and we'd probably, oh no, whatever she wanted to do. Maybe go climb a mountain, go out to the beach and just walk in the sand, without her shoes on, and yeah, just kick it with her, um, for sure. But I don't know. Don't tease me with a day, Bobby. I mean, come on. Where's the magic pill that's just gonna fix us all permanently?
Okay, but here's another caveat to that, Bobby. What if, because I feel like you have to have some sort of, like everybody would just want to take that pill. What if that pill takes 5 years off your life at the end of your lifespan? So you get 24 hours, but you're losing 5 years of your end of your lifespan. So like that's consequence. Do you take it now?
Oh wait, dude, you need
So
some
now
kind
I
of
don't know if I take it.
ratio. Like I need some kind of better ratio, dude. Like
All right, 1 year, 24 hours. You get 1 day, but you lose 1 year.
no,
And
I
you
don't
could
think-
repeat taking that pill. Over,
but just
but
think
every
if
day
you-
was a year.
But just think about how many awesome days you could have in a year for even
That's
one
what I would
really
say.
awesome.
That one I wouldn't take. With the consequences, I don't know if I would do that. But no consequences, yeah, I'm popping that pill. But
I'll tell you something. My brother and I have gotten really close, and I might do it. I mean, one thing that scares the crap out of me is aging with, the disability that we talk about on the other show, Rolling Over the Hill. And I get, I just put my parents in a assisted living center, and I mean, I'm hoping like that's where I go because this place is awesome. Pick me up at my room and take me to go do blackjack or do what, and somebody just taking care of me, and I don't have to worry about meals, everything. It would just be nice. But it still haunts me that I'm already gonna feel like I'm gonna pass early, like Tom was saying. That scares me. So I would take it for a day and have that year scratched off. I'm okay. and I want to go mountain biking with my brother. We just moved my parents to that, and we worked for years getting this all set up, and still have to work a lot of things and details in the future. And we've become really, really close. I didn't have a good relationship when we were younger, and especially after my accident. He was moving on with his life, going to college and all that. And so we just didn't, I had rehab and he had his life. And now we're like best friends. And I want to mountain bike with him so bad. And then the other one is, not that this bugs me, it doesn't. But Tom, you just said it, like give Kit Kat. All I would do is just then make mad, passionate love to my wife. The ways I can right now.
That's what I was gonna call Tom out and be like, I know what you guys would do for the 12 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. I was trying to not embarrass Caitlin or anything by saying anything too inappropriate. But yeah, that's a fun one, and I don't know, like, of course, like if there was a magic way to just not have the disability for a day, sure, like I'd take it, but I don't know, I I don't.
I mean, we could go on with this forever because would you take $1 million or be able bodied for 1 year? Ooh. Xavier said, why is there always a catch? And,
I would take $1 million all day, every day. On the
Or would you go $1 million and be able bodied for only 1 year?
I need more than $1 million because I don't know. With enough money, I could live. I don't know. Like my disability would be pretty inconsequential if I could hire full-time care, have endless access to medical care, modern medicine, technology, cool technology, wheelchairs, whatever. Like I don't really give two shits about the disability. Like the only like struggles and stuff that I face right now are mostly centered around like our messed up healthcare system and lack of access to tools, technology, and medical care. So I don't know, like I take disability and money all day because I don't know, like money could so easily like mitigate what I already live with, pretty like with pretty base means. So like shit, yeah, give me the money, baby. Um, but yeah, I don't
The
know,
only thing
like.
fun that would be about the 1 year is what the hard things, and everybody's chiming in with going to the beach, climbing a mountain, and I think that year would be so fulfilled in another way that you know and I'm sure this game is probably pissing off people too. And I mean, I have fun with it a little bit, but at the end of the night, when I wake up at 2 in the morning, that's my thought. I'm like, just 1 day, please. And there's no pill, there's no $1 million, but I still have this, almost barely. I still have heart, and I still have movement, and I'm gonna do what I can to make it to the next day and the
And
next
that's
day.
that's the truth. Like I won the lottery a bunch of times. Um, like I survived for one. I'm not dead, so that's cool. Cool for my family, cool for me. People that know me. Hopefully, benefit from my existence. I hope. Um, but also, I got my brain. I have the function that I have. Not
You're a
that
badass cook.
if I was more disabled, that would make life you know um, less worth living. Like that's not absolutely the case, but I'm just I feel like I won the lotto so many, so many, so many times, and that I'm still here. I'm living on my own in Los Angeles, California, in the beautiful U.S. of A. I got yummy food in my fridge. I've got awesome people in my life. I have a amazing, fast, beautiful, powerful computer that allows me to play dope video games with my homies, and I can travel. I can live, I can have sex, I can feed myself, I can sing and dance and go to space and travel to Phoenix and barbecue with my homies. I mean, I can do anything, I can do everything. and I'm not missing out on anything. And I'm blessed and thankful for that every day, and that is it right there. I won the lottery. Bobby won the lotto. Shawn won the lotto. We all did, you know, because we're here. We're thriving. We're functioning. We're very, very blessed to have access to things that the majority of people don't. So, heck yeah, dude. I mean, we're living the dream. Well, a lot of us are living the dream right now, and there is certainly a lot of struggle, and some people struggle more than others, and that's the card they were dealt or whatever. But the Live to Roll fam is here for that too. Like we're here to support one another. Um, I mean, I'm telling you, like I sometimes think about where my life would be if I just didn't go to that support group 8 years ago when I did at Northridge Hospital and didn't find the community. Never met Kayla, never. I mean, where would I be health wise and function wise? Like, I don't know. I feel like I would have lost it after the first 12 months. And, like, I don't know where the hell I would have ended up. So, I mean, I won the lottery 1,000 times and I win it every day when I wake up too. And like that's the truth. Um, there's just so many small little things that I think we all have to be, so grateful for, and we're being foolish if we're not, aware of them, and um, you know, working hard to take care of ourselves and ensure more of those opportunities.
Yeah.
This you said something earlier, Tom, and we've been going an hour, and this can be a whole other show, and we've talked about this, but really this, this day and this life birthday, and it's, we do a lot of me, and a lot of us me, and I don't think I know that our parents or our loved ones, wife, family, they have a way harder time with this than we do. We know we're okay, but they feel so guilty or sad or mad, or you know they want it to change, which we do too, but it's harder for them. For years and years, my mom would always call on my day and go, do you know what day it is? I'm like, yeah, mom, I know. And when I threw those parties and did those fundraisers, she's like, why do you do that? Isn't that the worst day of your life? And I'm like, no, mom. And she goes, it was mine. It's mine. And this happened 2 days ago. We were filling out some paperwork for the assisted living, and it asked the question, what is one thing that you want people to know about you? And my mom said, that I'm a bitch. And I'm like, mom, why? Because I'm a bitch that you're paralyzed. And it's like, oh my God, stop. I'm fine. I live a very beautiful life. Get over it, but you can't. You never will. And that always tells me how hard they have it.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about it before too on the show. I think I don't know. My mom said it before. A certain helplessness that I think they feel, and helplessness is a very difficult thing. And it can manifest. I think a lot of these other um, things that are associated with the grief and the loss that our family members and our friends and our loved ones experience. As a result of it. And I'll tell you what, like that's my only temptation to take that magic pill and go back in time. Is so my parents wouldn't have to have gone through the struggle and the hardship they did. Can't imagine it. Can't
Yeah,
imagine my mom and dad being the age that they were, in the situation that they were, with 3 kids and me, and then just how much they sacrificed and how hard they worked to um, provide us the opportunity that they did, and still find time to love one another and love themselves. And I mean, it's hard for me to rationalize. It's crazy. I my mom and dad like are seriously like two of the smartest people I know and have ever been blessed to get to know. But I wonder what my mom would have done if she could have gone back to school meaningfully without having to take care of me all the time and my brother and sister. Like if that would have been easier and she would have, gone further in her education, what mom would have done or what dad might have done different. But I know they don't think that, and I know they don't, regret for a second like the sacrifice or the work or that they had to put in to provide me the opportunity and provide my brother and sister our opportunity to live our lives. And now that is what I have to do to kind of pay them back is to um, live my life to the fullest, to take advantage of that opportunity that they provided and help take care of myself in a meaningful way. And, as long as I'm able to, but also, share and do what I can for others as well. And that, uh, you know, I would just never, ever, ever take their sacrifice and the amount of work that they put in and the amount of love that they gave, for granted. And it really does push me every day to, be better and work harder and to, you know, be happy and feel good and be super grateful for the opportunity they provided and what they provided for me as a result of all their hard work and their sacrifice. So I don't know. I definitely thought about that, but I know the answer is the same for them. Mom and dad just the same because of all that we've gained from it. And I don't know, it just sounds so kind of counterintuitive. Like, most people would just be like, "Oh my God, look at all that they've lost." But I mean, truly, it became all that we found, together and
Your
how it
mom
brought us.
said it made us stronger and learned to love life. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and that's it. That's it, baby. Um, so, I'm glad you brought that up, Bobby, because I was thinking about it earlier too, and I didn't say that, but like I have thought about that, and honestly, that's probably the biggest incentive I would have to do something like that. Is to provide a little bit of respite for the struggles that others went through. But
You know, Tom,
cool, cool.
not to stop you, but so Leslie, come here. I first met Leslie, my best friend. I call her my sister from another mother.
Don't we look
Hi,
alike?
Leslie. You guys do.
Hey,
It's
hi
great to meet
Tom.
you.
Hi
How
Sean.
are you?
Sean, we've met before.
yeah.
I,
Oh,
No, not Tom. Sean. I've met Sean
I
before.
met her a year after my injury, and I call her my sister because she took care of me. We were roommates for many years, and without her, I couldn't gotten by with a lot of that stuff. She wouldn't have. I would have never driven off a cliff and rolled down the
Shut up.
mountain. But if I would have never happened, had my injury, never,
Yeah.
never.
Water skiing.
Water skiing?
But if I never had my accident,
Oh.
would have never met
they go?
her. They're there.
Oh.
And
Met
then,
me.
slightly after that, I would have never met my wife. And, these two people and my friend Debbie out there are the closest things. I called, them more than anybody else when I'm talking on the phone. More than you, Sarah, believe it or not. And so without them, I wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't be as strong as a person I am today.
Ditto. I feel the same. If I hadn't met Bobby
Oh, I'm
and
gonna
lived
cry.
with him, and I would suck.
You do suck.
I do suck.
Only when I'm playing you against in Rummy Cube.
Well, that's true. Lately. Yeah.
yeah, well, that's it right there. And I think I don't know, everybody in our lives and everybody in the lives of all the viewers and people watching and listening, feel the exact same way. Everybody is so beautiful and strong and capable and amazing. Despite whatever adversities you might deal with or face on a day-to-day basis. And one thing that always makes it all easier and makes life definitely really worth living is seeing you guys here every week, coming hanging out with the Live to Roll fam. I mean, I tell you what, like I know we're kind of doing this to be a resource and service for you guys, but I swear it is something really magical that we give back to, being able to come on here and share our stories and our experiences and what we've learned with you guys. You give us so much love back too, and it's really awesome, really magical, and it's made the last like 3 years of my life like super super special in ways that I wouldn't and couldn't have imagined. So shout out to all you guys watching, the whole Live to Roll fam, for making me smile and making me feel good, and making me happy every day. And I will catch you guys gaming tomorrow. Right? And then we have the Women's Disability Show coming up at the end of the week on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's we're on a fifth
Oh,
Thursday.
Yeah. So we actually have a special show this week. We actually have Jessie Streckham coming on, the fitness trainer. I forgot to tell you guys, she just confirmed this morning with me that she's on for Thursday.
It's funny. I saw
Might be just
the.
me and her if these guys aren't up for the interview. But we're gonna talk about her life. She has a fitness app, her life, and we're gonna also talk about some like social media toxicity because she's dealt with a lot of that stuff. And people are like, just things, because she has a really big following and has just a lot of people that have said some really, some things on the internet and things like that. So we're going to talk about some of that kind of stuff that happens, especially within this disabled community. So special show Thursday, extra bonus show fifth Thursday.
And Javier.
I hope to join you, Shawn. I hope to join you guys if I'm back in time. But Thursday, I'm riding on my hand cycle, riding from Long Beach all the way down to San Juan Capistrano, 40 miles, if I can make it.
Awesome, man.
Well, we'll be pulling for you, and you can join us if you end up not being able to go with the full 40 miles. Yeah.
Or if I get off early. But you said something about your gaming, which is tomorrow, Tom.
And I did want to answer your question earlier. Javier Xavier, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. But you asked what games do we play, or what games do you guys play? I don't know what games you're talking about. If you're talking about adaptive rec, mostly wheelchair rugby, over the line, baseball, stuff like that, hand cycling. But if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, which is video games and the adaptive gaming that we do every Wednesday, we do a lot of Fortnite. It's free to download and join in. You're more than welcome to join us on the squad if there's room, or we'll make room for you and rotate out. We also play Apex Legends, or just started to. We're going to incorporate that a little bit more. And then, just some nerdy space games that I'm into, that I play solo sometimes. But I've been trying to just stick to multiplayer games that I can play with the fam, because our community is so magic, and the gaming community that we've started, that's kind of a little bubble inside this community, is super special and really fun. So appreciate you stopping by, dude. Represent the homies with MD out there. We are on quads and deal with SCI, but we try to be super representative of everybody and all disabilities. So I'm really happy that you feel welcome, and we really appreciate your input and your commentary. So thank you for chatting us up today. And we'll hopefully do some gaming tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
And next month is Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. So we have some good shows lined up for you guys coming up. Trying to get everything scheduled and stuff. So check out some awesome content next month from us too. Okay.
And if you're thinking like, man, what do I got to do this weekend? I'm going to be bored. I'm going to just be hanging at home, being a homebody, not doing anything. Well, take a pause, click the Shopify link below, and buy a ticket to the Live to Roll fundraiser barbecue that's happening this Sunday at Bobby Rohan's house in Mountain Valley, and get your ass out there over at the house party with us, because it's going to be a super fun time. Bobby's going to be doing wild things you can only see in person. And yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. I promise you guys.
Jeff Mitchell in the chat. You get your ass over here one way or another. Hopefully you're not doing anything on Sunday.
And yeah, hit that like, everybody. We also got to thank our sponsors real quick too. Shout out mobility professionals and urology professionals. These guys are two incredible companies that have been supporting Live to Roll for the past few years. Mobility Professionals is a rehabilitation equipment company out here in Southern California. Help you out with your wheelchairs, standing frames, shower chairs, and the like. If you find yourself living here in beautiful SoCal and in the need of something like that, even if you already have one that you struggle with, really, really in your best interest to give them a call, see how much better they are than all the other DMEs out there, and get them on your team, helping you out with those needs, because I promise you won't regret it, and it only smooth things out in your life. And similarly, urology professionals, any catheter supplies, urological supplies, they are your peeps anywhere in the United States of America. I know we have a national audience with peeps from different states. If you find yourself needing a change or just needing catheter supplies, give them a call. They'll hook you up with some samples. They'll help you navigate the healthcare side of things and get them to you for little to no cost. And yeah, they're just awesome peeps that are good friends of ours. So let them know Live to Roll sent you when you stop by. And yeah, Bobby's got the whole pig. We actually dug a pit in his backyard. We got it wrapped in banana leaves. We're gonna heat up some rocks and bury it and cook it underground and do it luau style, baby.
I had a neighbor
awesome
that did that every year. Oh, it's so good.
But hey, we're not gonna do that this time. But it's definitely on the agenda for some future Live to Roll. We've done the whole pig before. I know some peeps that like are in the know about how to do that, and have a line on a pig. So we'll definitely have to figure that out in the future.
If I didn't have fake grass, I may think about it, but I'm not going to dig out my fake artificial turf to dig a hole. It's too expensive.
So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and then we will all see you. Or at least Shawn and I will see you on Thursday.
Yep.
Sure. Come hang out. Don't miss it.
Thanks for
Later,
watching,
guys.
everybody. Live to Roll. We'll see you next time.